When a show becomes part of people's lives the way Downton Abbey has, the idea of it ever truly ending feels impossible. Yet when the creators promised a final goodbye, that's exactly what fans were told to expect. A grand farewell that would wrap up every thread with elegance and emotion. But here's the thing about stories like Downton Abbey. They never really end. Even when the final curtain falls, there's always that lingering question, what happens next? And that's exactly what's happening now. Because even though the movie was released as The End, whispers of a prequel, a reboot, or even a possible season 7 have started spreading like wildfire. And honestly, the way the finale unfolded, it didn't just close doors, it left them wide open. The film premiered on September 12th, and from the first few scenes, it had that unmistakable feeling of finality. Elizabeth McGovern, who's been the emotional heart of the series as Crawley, Countess of Grantham, even said this was the end of the road for her. Yet she also hinted at something fascinating. If the story ever continued, it might happen through a prequel, showing younger versions of the characters we've grown to love. Just imagine that. A young Violet Crawley, years before she became the sharp and witty dowager countess we adore. It's an idea that feels fresh, nostalgic, and deeply human. Still, longtime fans of Downton Abbey know better than to take the end at face value. Because when a story becomes this beloved and this successful, the temptation to return is always there. The so-called finale wasn't just emotional, it was beautifully constructed to feel like goodbye, yet secretly whisper, there's more to come. The reunion of cast and crew after so many years carried its own weight. Michelle Dockery even described it as a tribute to Maggie Smith, a love letter to both the character and the legacy she built. Watching it, you're not just saying farewell to a fictional family, you're witnessing real actors revisiting a part of their own lives. That's what made every moment hit so deeply. But Downton Abbey has never been a story about endings. It's about evolution, generations changing, legacies shifting, and that's exactly what the finale reminded us of. Let's talk about how it wrapped things up. On paper, it seemed like closure. Lady Mary steps up fully as the head of Downton Abbey after her father steps aside. She's divorced, criticized by high society, but unshaken. That's a massive statement. A woman leading with independence in a world built by tradition. It's not just a conclusion. It's a new beginning waiting to happen. The movie subtly places breadcrumbs for what's next. When Mary stands alone in that grand hall and the ghosts of Matthew, Sybil, and Violet appear, it feels like a symbolic handover. The past giving permission to the future. It's haunting, emotional, and deeply poetic. Those moments tell fans, the story isn't gone, it's transforming. And that's where season 7 starts to feel not like a rumor, but a possibility. Mary's now in charge. Her children, George and Caroline, are growing up, and Edith and Herbert remain part of the family's new chapter. Daisy's stepping into leadership too, a once humble maid now respected and independent. That's not an ending. That's the foundation for something new. Even the drama of the finale hints at more to come. Mary's divorce left her reputation bruised. Society turned its back on her. Then comes her Uncle Harold with his financial troubles, throwing the Crawley estate into another crisis. Add in the con artist Gus, who briefly wins Mary's trust before betraying it, and you've got a story that's far from finished. Those conflicts, those cracks in Downton's walls, they aren't just problems. They're setups, seeds waiting to bloom in a future season. Meanwhile, Isabel's leadership at the town fair, with Daisy right beside her, highlights something crucial: the next generation stepping into the spotlight. Daisy's growth from servant to head cook isn't just progress. It's symbolic of the new Downton Abbey itself. The fair's success feels like a quiet declaration. The future will look different, and that's a good thing. And if a new season were to happen, new blood is exactly what it would need. Because as much as we love the original cast, a story can't live forever on nostalgia alone. Mary's children, George and Caroline, could easily become central figures in Downton's next era. Imagine George growing up in his father Matthew's shadow, torn between legacy and self-identity. Or Caroline trying to find her place in a society that still whispers about her mother's scandal. Even Anna's unborn child carries weight. When Mary was named godmother, it wasn't just sentimental. it was symbolic. That baby could be the literal next generation of stories, bridging the old world and the new. Interestingly, even the creators themselves seem unsure whether the story is truly over. Producer Gareth Neame once admitted he might change his mind about ending things for good. And with 6 acclaimed seasons, multiple specials, and 3 successful films, Downton Abbey still feels like it has life left in it. The fans' passion alone could be enough to bring it back. The talk of a prequel adds another exciting layer. McGovern's idea of exploring a young Violet Crawley is brilliant. Seeing her early years, how she became the sharp, resilient matriarch we know, could open up an entirely new emotional dimension. A prequel could coexist with a new season, enriching the legacy rather than replacing it. And that's the beauty of how Downton Abbey ended. It gave closure without finality. The film honored the past but quietly gestured toward the future. Mary, standing at the center of it all, feels like a symbolic passing of the torch. She's not just running the estate. She's carrying its spirit forward. After all these years, fans don't want the Crawleys' story to end. They want it to grow. And maybe that's the real brilliance of Julian Fellowes' writing. He knows that family stories, especially ones as rich as Downton Abbey's, don't fade away. They evolve. So perhaps this wasn't the end at all, just the end of one chapter. A prequel, a reboot, or a full-fledged Season 7. Whichever form it takes, one thing's certain. Downton Abbey still has stories left to tell. Because true families, like true stories, never really end. They simply begin again.